Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sport Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Tuesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go up to our great friends up in Queensland who are not in this situation right now. Of course, especially let's talk a bit about the world game of football, and of course, especially talk a bit about the South West Queensland Thunder. Of course, they play in the National Premier League up there in Queensland. Of course, they get to recommence their season very soon. And of course, obviously after a couple of months break, and of course, we've got two very special guests joining us right now to tell us all about it. Thanks both of you for joining us.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. So I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position our fans in Queensland will get to see both of you on the field.
So my name is Melanie Jordie, and I obviously play for the Thunder. I am the centre midfielder, and I've been the captain for, I think, the past 2 seasons or 3 seasons. Yeah, this is 3rd season as captain. And yeah.
My name's Jordie Frank, and I obviously play for Thunder as well. I'm normally a centre back, but this year we're trying something new, and I'm out on the left wing, so that's pretty exciting. And yeah.
Now, your season, your actual proper season started early in the year, around February, March. I think you played about 3 games or 4 games in the season before the lockdown. I guess, how did the first couple games went? Was it almost like, going back to normal and then before the lockdown?
It was tough. Obviously, our first few games, we had really good teams we versed, so it was a bit of a shock going into each season, which it is every season. It's obviously really tough starting from pre-season, having a few little pre-season games and going straight into such a high-level competition, and especially in Brisbane, there's such high-quality teams there. So those first few games were tough for us, but I think we had pretty decent results. Well, the game probably didn't reflect the results, didn't reflect the game, but we were happy with where we sat in those games.
Yeah, I'll add on to that just a little bit. At the start of the season, it's obviously always hard fitness level wise and stuff, and I think we just started getting into that groove where we kind of found each other, could understand each other on the field. So the break, we kind of came at a bad time, but at the same time, I think everyone really enjoyed it and we got our fitness levels up, and it's pretty exciting to have the season start back again and see how we've changed and what we can bring to the table now.
Now, when the lockdown happened, and obviously it had to be postponed because of what's happening around the world, and especially what's been going on down here in Victoria at the moment. I guess, did you thought that, the season will eventually go ahead, or did you thought most likely it wasn't going to happen at all after the first 3 rounds and then the lockdown?
Since the lockdown kind of dragged on a bit longer than I thought, there was one stage where I didn't think we would return at all. And then as it started dying off a little bit, I thought maybe we'd play half a season. So that's kind of what I expected, but now we're going into the full thing and we won't finish till late November, I believe. So it's going to be a long year, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I know Jordie and I both sort of hoped for half a season, because it obviously is very tough. Playing 20, 30 odd weeks is very tough on your body and obviously mentally as well. So we did kind of hope for that half a season, but now we're back into it. I'm sure we'll be keen to play on until pretty much the end of the year now.
Yeah.
Now, what's been the team's morale been like at training now? You've gone back to sort of COVID normal training.
We are back to actually like tackling each other and stuff at training, but the first couple of weeks it was very strange, just distant passing and skills. That was very, very odd for us, but we're back into it. Normal trainings now, and I think everyone is in a really good headspace. Everyone seems to have had that break, got their passion back to the sport, and now we're really excited to just be all together and play and kick a ball around. So we're all in a really good mindset, and it's really enjoyable at training at the moment, which is really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think the one thing I've probably noticed is being in a regional team, we've always seem to have that bit of a gap between the Brisbane teams and ourselves in sort of opportunities or facilities, things like that, training wise, fields. But I think with the break, it's actually been a positive for us because we know that everyone is in the exact same position as us. No one has a head start. No one has an advantage or a disadvantage. I know a lot of teams have had their visa players had to return back to their home countries. So they've lost some quality there. And I think everyone's back to the start and everyone has to rebuild, which is probably a really good thing for our side.
Now, something I love about your team that struck out to me the most, obviously I'm from Queensland myself, from Harvey Bay. And something I love about country teams like yourselves, obviously you're all based in Toowoomba in South West Queensland, is that, it's almost like you have something to prove against the city teams like Brisbane, that they think that they're the best out of everyone in the state. And that's something I love about your team, that, you don't really worry about what's happened with the Brisbane teams. It's all about the community. It's all about doing it together and sharing that love and passion for the sport. Is that something that you've been embracing, especially now for the fact that the season's been, recommencing again?
Definitely. One thing I love about our team is what you said. We are a big community. We are a family. And over the last few seasons, it has been tough. We've had some bad losses or bad games, but our team sticks together really well and we'll come back to training, we'll bounce back. And I think that's really keeps us together. We are the underdogs. We know that. And I kind of love being the underdogs. Like you said, it's like we have something to prove. No one expects us to be as good as we are. So when we do play a game and, we play really well, even if it's 5 minutes or we score a goal, it means that much more. And yeah, it's just really good to be in a town where everyone supports each other. We're a good club. All the girls are there supporting each other. And yeah, I think it's really good to be a part of.
Yep. No, I don't really have much to add to that. Jordan's pretty much hit it on the head.
Now, tell us a bit about your team and tell us a couple of players that we should watch out for once the season recommences, without giving too much away.
Yeah, we don't want to
include yourself.
We have such a strong attacker in Louise Rolfe. She's just freakishly athletic. That's the only word to describe her with, really. She's very, very quick, very agile. So she's such a good attacker and she just keeps defenders on their toes. We have a great goalkeeper, Liz Hollett, who's been with us for probably 6 years now, probably ever since Thunder formed, and she's just sort of come up through the ranks and started as the best keeper in the region, and she's definitely able to play in a Brisbane team. She's that good. So when she's on, she's definitely on. So we have a few girls that are really strong, and obviously this year we had a lot of senior players join us from the local league who have played for Thunder before or played in NPL, and they've come up and they've just risen to the occasion, and yeah, it's been great. And obviously Jordie is such a strong player. I can't say any bad words about Jordie. I think she's phenomenal. Probably the best centre back I've ever seen, and that's not even being biased. Jordie is amazing. And we've actually been joined by an international player this year, Rosnani. She is the captain for the Singapore national squad. So having her in our squad has just been amazing to see the level that she can be at. And obviously when she came in first, her fitness was just unreal. Her touches, everything, just her vision was great. And she's starting to really come out of her shell. I've noticed in our few second pre-season games, she's starting to talk more. So I think she'll be a leader on the field and hopefully off the field as well, heading into the restart.
Yeah, I'll add to it because Mel's just being modest, but Mel definitely controls the centre mid. She is our game player. She's been there for years, so it's really good to have her controlling the game. And as she said, we've had those other senior players come in, which I think has not only brought more experience, but it makes our team more versatile. So we have players that can play heaps of different positions. As for me, I'm normally a centre back, but we have other girls that are very capable in that position, so it allows me to move around. And I think that's something that we haven't had before. And yeah, that's really exciting and mix things up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just more depth this year, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, how did both of you get involved in the sport of the world game?
Well, I'll let Jordie go first.
God, I didn't really have a choice in the matter, to be honest.
It was more interesting.
I started playing when I was 5. My mum and dad both played. Dad was my coach when I was young as well, so it kind of just ran in the family. And I started, like I said, when I was 5. I played for my local club, Highfields, and then I came through South West, played all those little comps and tournaments and things like that. My brother and sister also play. My sister's in our Thunder team. And yeah, I really didn't have a choice, but I kind of fell in love with it instantly. And the first break I've had was through COVID, so that was really good for me. But yeah, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have soccer, to be honest.
I think I started playing when I was actually 12. I just went to Harristown State High School, which is in Toowoomba, and we have a soccer specialisation program there. And one of the coaches, I think he just knew my family name or something, or he may have seen me play soccer, I don't know, maybe in primary school or something, but he basically said that I have to join the soccer special program. So that's pretty much where I started. And before that, I played rugby union. So once we had to sort of stop that, once we could no longer play with the boys, I had to find a new sport. So that's where it pretty much kicked off. And I met a lot of girls in the soccer special program, including Jordie, and they just sort of, having those girls around you, they just become your best friends and your family, and they make you want to come to training, and that makes you love the sport more. So it's pretty much how I started and have never looked back, really.
And you just can't leave now.
Exactly.
What will be some football highlights for both of you?
Oh my goodness. I was definitely at my peak when I was in school. So I was lucky enough to make Queensland for a couple of years. I made the Australian Schoolgirls for a couple of years, and they were unbelievable experiences. I got to play alongside some of the girls that are in the Matildas now, and seeing how far they've come and how good they are. Yeah, it's really cool and kind of bizarre to see, but it's pretty exciting, especially having the World Cup coming to Australia. That's kind of a bonus. But other things, I went to college actually with Mel's sister and went there for a year and played over there. So seeing how football's different overseas and having those opportunities, it's really just opened up the world to me. I've been able to go lots of places, and I'm really appreciated for it. And yeah, they're probably some of the main ones.
I probably I don't really know if mine are sort of individual things I've achieved, really. I think I just really love the girls that I get to play the game with. And obviously when you work really hard for a season or something and you get that win that you've been wanting to get for ages against a rival team, that feels so good. Probably one of my favorite moments playing was when, I think 2016, we didn't have the best team on paper, but we played so well as a team, and our defense was so good that the Brisbane Roar wanted to have a trial against us. And we weren't I don't even think we were in the top 4 or top 5, but the Brisbane Roar girls, they saw our defense and they saw how we played well together. And we had that game against them, and I think we only lost 2-0, and that was such a great feeling just to have that opportunity to play against those girls that are such a high level. And yeah, I think that's really one of the games that I'll remember forever.
I think that was like a great game for everyone individually and the team, and just as a club. Just as Thunder, we haven't had an opportunity to verse such like a W League team, so that was awesome. and it
Yeah.
provided so many opportunities for the younger girls to be seen. And that was really exciting. Like you said, those close games, like I remember one game, I think we versed the Gap and we still lost. I think it might have been 4-0, but we held them 0 for so long. And those games like that, where even though the results don't show it, you play well as a team. There's so many positives, and it honestly feels like you won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Even though you don't get the points, it's just you just play well. And that's
put 100% in. Yeah, I agree.
Now, Jordie, you mentioned before about obviously Australia and New Zealand getting a chance to host the World Cup in 3 years' time, in 2023. When that announcement happened, what was both your thoughts about what did it all mean to the World Games, especially the women's soccer or football in the region? What did that all mean?
I just think soccer's been growing so much, and the Matildas have been such a big part of that, with the whole equality thing and just getting more girls to play. So having it come to Australia, having all these world-class players from all different countries come to Australia and us having the opportunity to watch them, I just think it's incredible. Not only for us, but all the junior girls, 6-year-old girls. I remember being that young and you idolise all these players, but to see them live, I think is just, it's going to be huge. And hopefully we can maybe get some teams to Toowoomba or get some people down to Brisbane to watch these teams train or play. And I just think it's going to open so many opportunities and get girls more passionate about the sport. And I think it's huge. It's very exciting.
Yeah, obviously it's great for the whole of Australia and New Zealand. Obviously, I think in recent years, sports like the AFL in the women's league, I think that's really built up, and it's a lot of hype and media around that, and sports like cricket as well, things like that. So it's really about the media pushing for it. So I think if this is blown up everywhere, all over media, and parents see that the World Cup's coming here, I think it'll encourage their kids to come along, and especially girls, like even boys can come watch and get into the sport. I think it's really, really great. Yeah, I think it'll do wonders for our sport, because I think in recent years it sort of has dwindled a bit with those other sports going ahead. Even rugby union, like the rugby sevens, that's massive now. After those girls won that gold medal at the Olympics, that sport just absolutely exploded. So I think it's really time for the World Game to be back in the headlines again and be the focus sport around the world. So I think this will be really great for us and New Zealand.
What does the sport of the World Game mean to both of you, and especially playing down there at South West Queensland?
Like I said a bit earlier, I've played soccer my whole life, and it's just a big part of who I am. The last few years I've struggled with a bit of injury, and so not being able to play my best has been very mentally challenging. So one of my goals for the future, very near future hopefully, is to get back to that 100% and be playing the game that I love, with the people that I love and my family. But it's just who I am. That's it. And Thunder is just such a community club. We all support each other, especially on the girls' side. We have such a close relationship with the under 13s and 15s and 18s. And I just want that to grow. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm probably the same. I think it sort of becomes your identity once you're involved in a sport and you love it so much. That's really a part of who you are. But like Jordie said, she loves the community aspect of that, and I'm the same. And we've worked really hard in recent years, probably the last 2 or 3 years, Jordie and myself and a few of the girls from the senior team, we've worked really hard to bridge that gap between those younger girls and ourselves, because I know when I was a junior, if I saw a girl that's maybe 20, 25 come in and do a session with us, show us her skills and everything like that, and what she could do, I was so amazed, and I thought, oh, I want to be that. So I think once you get a bit older, and once you get past the point of, oh, hey, maybe I want to go further with this, or maybe I don't, I think now I'm thinking, oh, my point of playing is yes for myself, but secondly for the sport and for the sport in our region. And I think that's really important for us to sort of get the sport out there and become role models for those younger girls who are wanting to play and maybe wanting to go further or just play it for the love of it.
Now, what will be your advice to our listeners, especially in Queensland, who are not, obviously, yourselves are not in restrictions at the moment, that should come out to Toowoomba and watch the team in action once the season recommences in a couple of weeks?
My advice to some of the younger players that are playing is to basically always give 100%. What they put in is what they get out. So those extra trainings or kicking a ball against a wall or juggling in their backyard, all that's going to add up. And I think that you can never be too old to ask how to get better or ask for advice and try new things. Something that I'm very proud that I did was I didn't make a Queensland team one year, and that absolutely destroyed me. And it was terrifying to go to someone and ask what I did wrong or why I'm not good enough. But I did that, and my coach at the time basically laid it out straight and told me what I needed to do. And I worked hard, and then the next year I got the result that I wanted. So I think for those younger players, go to your parents, your coaches, older players, your role models, and just ask for advice or practice those skills and make mistakes, because that's the only way you're going to get better. So don't be afraid to stuff up here and there.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good piece of advice, actually. Yeah, look, pretty much the same, I guess, what Jordie said. And if people are wanting to get into the sport, they just need to reach out, have a go, come try it. Especially, hopefully they want to come watch us play. I know that the women could always use the extra supporters, and same with the younger girls. They really love it there. And our men's side has a lot of supporters, which is really great. And we have such good players all through the ranks. So the club is really strong player-wise. So, yeah, it's always great to have extra supporters and extra people coming to watch us and support us the whole time and throughout the season. Yeah.
Now, let's finish up with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, any embarrassing moments so far this year?
Oh,
anyone?
This week.
I have one for the last weekend.
Yeah.
I hit the crossbar from like the 6-yard box. That was pretty embarrassing. First game back, and that's what I did.
I think, Bridget was running backwards and she's tripped on nothing and just fallen over. But everyone does really embarrassing stuff. Every training session, every game, without a doubt. I had there was a video on the news the other day showing Louise's goals, or Louise playing, and I'm running towards the goal and she's cut the ball back, but I scored the goal. But if you rewind it 5 seconds before that, I've fallen over on nothing and then had to get back up. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. There's embarrassing moments every single day with us.
100%. Yeah. Our trainings definitely aren't boring, that's for sure.
Yeah, we should just a lot of falling over.
I think we had at a training session, Rachel was doing a demo and she just had to run through, do a 1-2 and score in one of the mini pop-up goals. And she was running flat out, had the shot, scored it, but kept running and tripped over the bar of the goal. And it was just the greatest.
Never boring.
No. Who's the comedian in the team?
Oh, there's a few.
Yeah.
Mel can be a comedian. Liz, our keeper, can definitely be a comedian.
Ebony's quite. There's Ebony. She's absolutely bonkers.
She's another level.
Yeah. I try to be good because I'm captain and I obviously can't be too much of an idiot, but
I have a responsibility now.
I have my times. Just when the coach isn't listening, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, there's a few people that are quite wild.
I think Ebs she's the main one, I reckon.
Yeah. Definitely.
Who's the best singer and dancer in the team?
Oh, not me.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't think I've heard people sing.
We used to have a really good singer, but not anymore.
I think, actually, Jess can sing a little bit. I reckon that Louise could probably sing because she's good at everything. I think.
Possibly. She can't dance, though.
No. And Ebony would look like I said, one of those car salesman persons, like the
or a mermaid.
She's got long, lumpy arms. Yeah, she's called Noodles, and her arms are just like skinny and Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think I'm an all dancer. I might have to be the dancer because we're all very average.
Jesus, that's saying something.
Oh God, yeah, wow. We're better at soccer, I swear.
Now, during isolation, did the team have any set challenges? And if so, what's the funniest one?
Oh, I think one of the only things we did was that toilet paper challenge.
Yeah.
How you juggle the toilet paper. But I actually videoed mine and I never uploaded it because of that. I got three.
Our under 15 girls did one and theirs was amazing. Theirs was really good.
That's back when you cared about juggling. Now I just rely on other things. I think I got 3 and I deleted it because it was terrible. I didn't do it.
Other than that, though, our coach kind of just said, we're a women's team. We are responsible and able to do our own trainings, our own fitness, that sort of stuff. So we kind of had the freedom to do that, which I think is a really good thing. I know lots of girls got together every now and then.
Yeah, we did that set plan. There was training sessions set out and that was pretty much for the whole club, and we could either follow it if we wanted to. Well, obviously for the younger kids, it was a lot easier to follow that structure of the skills or the fitness.
Theirs was compulsory.
Something like that if we wanted to, or everyone just do their own fitness, things like that.
Yeah, I know a lot of the girls got together every now and then and did some skills or went for runs. But yeah, we pretty much had the freedom to choose what we wanted to do, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, we'll finish off with this one last one, which is, do you have a pump-up song to hype the team up? If so, who runs that playlist and what's the worst song on it?
Oh,
no.
Songs, actually. But
one of our songs that we had for years was Chicken Fried. And that's just because it's like a bogan song, we're a bogan town, and we just absolutely loved it.
Have you heard that song? Do you know what song we're talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Black Brown Band. Yeah, that was our song. But we do have they play Thunderstruck before each home game, so probably Thunderstruck when we're heading out is our pump up song.
Yep. I'm trying to bring All I Do Is Win back into the team, but that hasn't caught on yet.
We're attempting it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, once the restrictions have eased a little bit more down here in Melbourne, hopefully by the time we get to a little bit towards the end of the year, then hopefully I can come up and support the mighty South West Queensland Thunder, because obviously I'm a country person, of course, living in Harvey Bay, so can't wait to see you up there, and hopefully you can start smashing a couple of those Brisbane teams for us in the next couple of weeks or so.
Awesome, no problem.
Thank you so much for having us.
No worries, and that's Melanie and Jordie there from the South West Queensland Thunder, of course, the National Premier League women's team. And of course, make sure you get out there. Of course, we'll put all the details on their next games coming up, so you can go out there and watch them and support the mighty Thunder in 2020. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Tuesday.